Hi, my friends. Welcome to the Ask Bess show here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time. How are you doing today? How's this strange time for you? Love to hear your thoughts below. And also, if you're watching the replay, I'd like to for you to type in that so I can thank you for it, and like to hear where you're from, where you're watching from, and what's the weather like where you are right now. Some people it's summer, some people it's winter across the world. So glad to see you. Hey, Shamala, front row, you are. Welcome, girl. Spiritual friend, wonderful person, Shamala, network marketer, businesswoman, amazing, smart, kind, loving, everything woman. So you might follow the people who are on here because these are some of the best people that I think we can gather with today. So the title of this show today is The Amazing Power of Love. And I got a bunch of stories for you about what that looks like in life. True stories that are like, wow, that's amazing. So welcome, Sharon. How are you? So glad to see you. I have been thinking of you too. Wondering how you are. So today, the power of love. First, I'm going to invite people and welcome anyone else to do that, to tag, invite, share in a Facebook group where other people could be watching this at the same time. And this would be for someone who needs or would benefit from a boost, a hello, some company, some spiritual insights, some reinforcement about the power of love, personal growth, spiritual growth. So I try to save that for Sunday. I'm here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time for this show. So I'm inviting a few people right now while I let you know a little bit about what this show's about. First of all, I should say my most important thing is you matter. I hear you. I care. I'll respond. Everyone's going through things right now, and I want you to know that you are bigger than any problem that is before you, that every problem has a solution, and it's always within reach, often closer than we think. And you can become a master problem solver. You don't have to do it alone. I have some tools called Real Conversations tools, free tools that I'll share with you in a little bit. So I'm going to continue inviting friends, but that was important to give my attention to you. I think we all want to be connected with, accepted, and accepted for who we are and known for who we are. So this show, the Ask Bess show, is a place where you can come on, ask questions below, or you can private message me a question about anything. It could be about work, career, network marketing, relationships, communication, health, weight loss, spiritual fulfillment, any of these things. And who am I to be doing this show? I am Bess McCarty, of course. I am a coach for business and life, especially for network marketers, especially for women. They call me the shrink of MLM. I am a holistic health practitioner, body-mind therapist, inner child therapist, Reiki master, neuromuscular therapist, and author, speaker, teacher. Taught for 15 years at Body Mind College in San Diego. Used to have a full-time network marketing business for years to help me raise my son as a single mom. When my company went out of business, I went into personal growth. And 10 years ago, I brought this back to network marketers because you guys are my heroes, because you go through so much personal growth and face yourselves, because coaching with me is tax deductible for your business, whether it's private coaching or in the school that Jeffrey David Gamble and Brandy Pember and I run for network marketers, the generic school. And I'm also a minister, mother, grandmother, surfer, Tai Chi, martial artist, teacher, practitioner. And okay, so enough inviting. Time to say hello to Mika, who's joined us. Good morning. And to Tina. So glad to see you guys. Okay, topic today, the power of love. Is there a greater force in the universe? Can anything be more important than love? Name something. I can't. I think that it is the most powerful force in the universe. It can melt the angry. It can save lives. And I'll tell you some stories in a little bit about that. Welcome, David Roeder. Welcome. I'll always remember reading a Reader's Digest a little while back. This article was, it said, okay, we wanted to research health, the connection between health and love. So what they did is they did autopsies of people who died in car accidents or just from natural causes. And there was a certain group of people that they opened up their bodies and they looked and they said, wow, these people have had all the conditions for a major disease for years. Why didn't it manifest in their body? They lived perfectly normal, healthy lives, but they had all these conditions set up in their body when they checked them out after they died from a car accident or something like that. And they found that they should have, died earlier, or they should have been very, very sick in their life, but they weren't. So they said, let us research these people and see if we can find out why that major disease, which had all the conditions set up, why it never manifested in their life. And they found out that there was a common denominator between all of these people. And they found out that it was this, that they loved what they did. They loved what they did. And that was the power of love. So when all of the environment, I'm a raw food health person and everything, but I do try to remember that love supersedes all. I once had like a 90-year-old neighbor lady who got out and shoveled snow every winter in Colorado and Denver and everything, and she ate. I ate health food and all that stuff, and she ate junk food and drank coffee and I think beer or alcohol or something like that. She just didn't follow any of the health rules I did, and yet she was hale and healthy and hearty. And I told myself, Bess, you can follow all your health rules and stuff, but remember that love trumps all. Love can supersede all. There was this guy who was exposed to Agent Orange and was predicted to die, everything, but he overcame that. And it was a miracle, actually, and I know 2 people like that. So something about love or positivity can overcome anything. It truly can. And I know there is a therapist named Dr. Pat Allen, and she says it's always important to be happy. It's always important to have somewhere to go, someone to love, and something to do. In other words, we have a purpose in life, and that makes us happy. And there's a lot of studies on this. I'm going to share a little bit about what makes us happy. But I do have several powerful stories about how love has changed lives. These are kind of strong stories, you guys, but they're absolutely true. And I heard them in the compassionate communication circles. There was a lady in a remote mountain town. Someone knocked on her door in the dead of the night. It was freezing outside, snow and all that. And she opened the door, and it was this man kind of, without much of a coat on or anything. And he didn't say a word. He just stood there silently. And she said, oh, you poor thing, come on in. Come on, sit by the fire, get warmed up. I'm going to make you some soup and something to eat. So she did that. I don't think he spoke the whole time. And after he ate, then she gave him a warm bed to sleep in. She woke up in the morning. The bed was empty. And she found out when she asked around town that this man had visited other people in the night and murdered all the participants in the home. He was maybe a deranged person who was killing people through the night. But her home, he didn't. He didn't speak. She didn't question him. She just gave compassion and love and saw a need and filled it, and he spared her. So that, kind of a very powerful, gruesome but powerful story of the power of love. And I read another true story of this lady was walking along the sidewalk one day, and this car pulled up with 3 guys. And they had a gun, and they forced her into the car. And they said, we are going to take you out to the countryside. We are going to rape you, and then we're going to kill you. She had no doubt they meant it. She said, okay. She said to herself, this is the end of my life. And she accepted it. Because she did accept it, she began to look at these 3 men. And she began to see them as very troubled, twisted men in pain. You know, she began to feel compassion in her heart. And this is a story about compassion, what happened with that. So they drive out to the countryside, yank her out of the car, throw her on the ground, and one by one they come to her. And as they do, she takes their face in her hands and just looks in their eyes with that compassion that she felt for the pain that they were in. She had nothing to lose. She was going to die anyway. So she did that. And each one could not continue, broke down weeping and crying, went back to the car. Next one, same thing. Next one, same thing. Until they went back to the car. When they finished crying, they got her back in the car, took her back to her home, and waited and watched till she got safely inside. Another example of how love and compassion saved a life. Another lady was working late one night at a hotel at the desk, and this man came in, true story, and he says, "I want a hotel room." She says, "We're full." And he became loud and insistent, and she said, "Sorry, I don't have a room." And he threw her to the ground, knife to her throat, angry. He said, "Everybody is against me. Nobody will help me," and was ready to slit her throat. And she just began giving him compassion. She said, if I have the story, a long time ago, but story something like, "You must be tired of that. You must be feeling really angry about all this. You must really be ready for someone to hear you." And he said, yes, yes, yes. He at last got the compassion. After a few more sentences, he lowered the knife, and they talked. And it was, it's the love and compassion that people want. Sometimes we do have to run as fast as we can or do a block or something like that to protect ourselves or stay out of unsafe areas. But when faced with death, these people gave love instead and saved lives. So strong examples. Hey, Barry Lynn, welcome. Barry Lynn teaches and lives the power of love, I know. And Eugenia, welcome everybody. Thank you for the likes and loves. Mike, I see you there. And thank you everybody. That's so sweet. So these are true stories that inspire me, that know that love is the most powerful force in the universe. It can cure a fatal illness. It can save lives. It can turn a heart in a moment, because at the bottom of it, that's not what we all want. Even murderers and rapists are really wanting love and acceptance. It reminds me of a quote that a coaching client shared the other day that I love. I said, wow, I aspire to follow this advice. And welcome, Dave. Glad to see you. Thanks for enjoying the stories. So this quote is, Charles, I forgot to write down the author, but I'll put it in my comments, the quote and the author. And they said it is this. As a coach and a teacher, I've been a coach and teacher for 30 years, right? Sharing my wisdom and all my knowledge and all this stuff. But, I've been a trainer of coaches, a teacher of coaches, and holistic health practitioners and everything. But this is what he said. It is not necessary to teach others, cure them, or improve them. It is only necessary to live among them, sharing the human condition and being present to them in love. Reminds me of Mr. Rogers, who I just recently watched again and again, that documentary with, I forgot the man who played him. But Mr. Rogers in that movie being portrayed and in real life was very accepting of people. He would look right into the camera and says, "I like you just the way you are." And that began to heal me as a young mother of a toddler. We watched Mr. Rogers every day, so I could expose my son to him. But it healed me, missing my daddy, who got sick when I was 8 and died when I was 10 from cancer. It began to heal me and give me the father that I was missing. We all long to be accepted. Now, real quickly, I wanted to share with you some research that's done about happiness. That's been an increasing interest of people because everybody wants to be happy, right? So there's a study in the UK that could measure the electromagnetic energy of the brain and could monitor the heart to measure mood boosts. And what they tried out different things, for people to look at and hear and do and everything, and they measured what made people the most happy. Guess what topped the chart of all of these things for people to look at or do or say or hear or anything like that? It was a smile. And they said a smile gives the same brain stimulation as 2,000 chocolate bars, and it gives the same brain stimulation of receiving up to $25,000. So if you're waiting for your stimulus check, you might try smiling, or maybe even practicing gratitude that is coming, or that you've gotten it, or that we have all of the beautiful people and helps that we do, the healthcare workers and all the people that we do at this time. So I'm seeing a bunch of smiles come up here. Thank you very much. And thank you, Deborah, for being on. Deborah's from Atlanta. And you know what? I smile more because I'm on these videos, and I don't look good if I don't. I think I used to look good 20 years ago, whether I smiled or not, but now I find out if I don't, my face droops. So yeah, they say a smile is a natural facelift, right? But every single person looks better when they smile. Even my little granddaughter, who's 8 months old, I'll tell you, she has the most beautiful little face, but when she smiles, there seems to be a light that shines and that beams. And it's the same for each of us. Somehow our love can translate and transform our face into a beacon of light. And speaking of light, this is a painting behind me that I did many years ago. It's an oil painting of my spiritual guide with me. I am the seagull flying with my spiritual guide. And my paintings have light behind them. And so I like to put them behind me because they bring some light or smile, to the Facebook Lives. And David Roeder said, if you give prayer to water, it changes the molecular structure of the alkaline. There we go. So the positive thoughts, the spiritual, the loving, because I think prayer is an act of love, divine love. So all these things. And so here's 3 things that they found that smiles actually do. A smile actually makes you feel better, even if you don't, because what it does is it stimulates the brain's circulation activity and produces good feeling hormones. So that's body-mind. I've been a body-mind therapist for over 30 years. We know that what we do with our body affects our mind and emotions. So that's a perfect example of smiling. Posture is another one. Breathing is another one. Standing in the power pose is another one. Having our head on straight is another one. Versus hanging or over, but, having it aligned with our heart is another one. All of these things with body, mind, change your body, change your body, mind. So I can relate to that being a body, mind therapist. Okay, another one is that smiles predict longevity and happiness. And there was a 2010 study at Wayne State University. They studied baseball cards, which are becoming popular now, I understand, as investments, collector's items, especially during this pandemic. But in 2010, they examined Major League Baseball card photos that went back to 1952. And so they could look back, right, and see, well, what became of these people. So they looked at the span. They said the span of the player's smile predicted his lifespan. And they found that the ones that were smiling, had an average life of 73 years. But the ones who were beaming had an average lifetime 7 years longer. So smiling can predict or increase our lifespan and happiness. Then there was another study that validated that too. It's a 30-year study at UC Berkeley that studied old yearbook photos. And they said that the wider the smile matched up with a standardized tests of who scored the best on the test for well-being and happiness, and how much they inspired others around them, how inspiring others found them, and how fulfilling their marriages ended up. And the ones with the greatest smiles topped the top of all 3 of these categories. So cool. Does smile cause it, or is smile a result of the happiness inside? I think it can be both. I think it can actually turn me around when I don't feel good. It can make me feel good. Okay, so the last benefit of smiling is that we look better to others. People perceive us as more likable or courteous, to see us as more competent. So that can help in relationships and work and everything, can't it? And Shamala, it lights up the soul. And the love, Barry Lynn loves the painting. Thank you. Shamala has sent me pictures of her grandchildren, and they are smiling. And don't they just light up your heart? So, and guess what? This is about kids too. Okay, so statistics show 14% of us smile less than 5 times a day, but 30% smile around 20 times a day. But guess who tops the chart at 400 times a day average? And that's children. So gosh, why do I like being around children? That must be why. So I will post that quote for you about it's just not necessary to teach people stuff. And I will post for you some tips about how to find your happiness, because called Real Conversations. This is how I've been working with people for over 25 years, since I noticed how I work with myself and clients and students to move from problem to solution in minutes. I call it Real Conversations with Ourselves. And it involves, it's a very simple secret, that whatever problem we're going through, challenge we're going through, it's a sign of an unmet need. We find what's missing, we find the need, we meet that in a healthy way, and it can change my state and my attitude in moments. Called Real Conversations. I'll post a free link below, but right now I could tell you it's at bessmccarty.com/real for Real Conversations. bessmccarty.com/real. I'll post that. There is a chart for Real Conversations there, so you can discover your emotions and the needs, discover what need is missing and then how to meet that in a healthy way. So I have a chart there, an audio, and 5 email lessons that are sent to you that you can journal yourself through and learn this method for yourself. So that's what I meant at the beginning when I said I'll help. So I have that for you. And also I have a Tuesday night class that I'm making free right now for people. It used to be a charge for this class. Now I've opened it up during this pandemic for everyone to join in who wants to. It's a Real Conversations class where you can come on, you can listen anonymously if you want, you can be coached, you can be heard, you can get help for something you're going through by me and the other people, sort of as a mastermind. And it's just a phone number to call into. You can share that number. I'll post that below too. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll go for an hour and a half, something like that. But anybody can come on at any time, come in and out, be anonymous. It's just for you to be heard and to get your needs met, or just be in company with other people and learn from other people too. So those 2 things, the Real Conversations tools, I'll post a link, bessmccarty.com/real, and the Tuesday night call-in class, I'll post a number for that. Of course, I do work with people with private coaching all the time. I dearly love working that closely and privately with people because they move fast that way. But also I like working in the groups and teaching. And network marketers, especially women. I love coaching, especially network marketing women. And also I love teaching along with Jeffrey David Gamble in our school, the MLM Millionaire Academy. We have a class tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is how to present daily. We teach the 10 core commitments there, including a very special script and way to build the business the fastest I've ever seen in network marketing. We teach that within the school. So if you want information about that, just message me, send you information. It's super affordable and quite effective. People are jumping ranks in it. Here's what people are saying about the Tuesday night class. Mika Coleman, who's on here, thank you. Yesterday she said, it's awesome class. Bess is an amazing communicator. Thank you. Working on it, always. Deborah Tong said, great call. Zach Kyer said, amazing value. Thank you. So that's what they said about the Tuesday night class. And actually, a number of these people are on the Sunday night network marketing class tonight, too. So we'd love to have you. You could check it out. You know, no contract, no risk. Super affordable. It's actually only $25 a month we've been told over and over again we should, send it back up to the $100 a month that it was. But right now it's an inexpensive price. So we love you, and welcome, Helly. How are you? The smile is of a child is a gift to receive. Oh my gosh, my son just had a baby. She's 8 months old now, and he said what we do, their first child, he said what we do is we spend most of our time trying to get her to smile. And isn't that, you just become addicted to that. Oh my gosh, what a huge gift. Yeah, I relate. Thank you, Dave. That's a great comment. And Claudia, welcome to you. Love everybody. We'll see you next. We'll see you in class on Tuesday or in class tonight for network marketers. I'll post that link too. And see you every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern time for the Ask Bess show. You can ask a question. Remember, you can private message me before, especially if you want to be anonymous, and I'll respond to that on the show. Okay? Hey, Janice popped in. All right, happy Sunday to you in Hawaii. And love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Let's keep the conversation going. Okay? It's real fun. Take care. Bye-bye.